Hi, this is Abe Wesley. That ain't who tells it like it TIS. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 4. It started off with Marlo and her contractor. I think his name was Jerome or something like that. They were meeting at the. They were meeting at the. At the. At the site where her house is gonna be built. Marlo is trying to build her house up from the ground, and while she was going over the floor plans with the contractor, she told the contractor that she wanted to have 3 different closet spaces, and she didn't need a big bedroom. She was gonna, cut some of her costs by not having a big bedroom. And then Sheree and Kenya drove up, and so she was telling Jerome that she had 2 of her friends that are supposed to be coming because they had a whole lot of problems when they were building their house, and their production showed how Kenya was going through Sheree's house when Sheree was trying to build Chateau Sheree, and then they also showed where Sheree was going to Kenya's house and saying Kenya needed a lot of work, and so those were the flashback scenes production did, and then after that. Kenya got on her, I guess what you would call it, contractor work hat thing on. She was saying, well, where's your bedroom? And she said, well, this is the closet, my bedroom right here. And then Kenya said, you mean we're gonna pass by 3 closets before we get to your bedroom? Why you make your bedroom so small? She said, well, my bedroom need to be small because I need my closet space for my clothes and stuff. And she said the boys are gonna have two separate bedrooms by themselves, so I really don't need no big room for myself. And then Kenya said, huh, you don't want a big room for yourself? And she said, no. She said, who's that bumper? But anyway, she said now. And Marlo said, I have to go by my budget. I can't afford no big old bedroom stuff. And she said, well, Marlo, you keep talking about you have money, you have plenty of money. And Marlo said, no, don't say that, Kenny. Kenny said, I'm just saying what you saying. You said you have money and fashion. And then that's when they showed when Marlo said that. When Marlo said that, they showed a flashback of Marlo saying that at her the archive party. And so she said, okay, I'm not gonna quibble about it, but I'm tired of y'all asking me every time about my money. That's what Marlo was saying. And then so she was saying, well, it's gonna cost this much. Is it gonna look like the house across the street? And the guy said, well, something similar to that. And she said, well, that's gonna cost you a little bit more. And then the guy said, with this and that, and the $300,000 add-on bonus, upscale or whatever. She said, oh, your stuff. Can you say, oh, your stuff? He said, yeah, I know my stuff. She said, well, Jerome, I'm gonna go and let you go, and me and the girls gonna go and stuff. And then Marlo said, yeah, don't he look pretty nice? Don't he look handsome? Say, yeah, Kenya, he might be a man for you. Kenya say, now I'll find my own stuff. And maybe she said, now let's go eat. And so they went to the next scene where they showed Kandi and Todd leaving their house to go outside to walk, and they went to talk about the trip to New York. And then Todd brought up about they can also go by the condo or the penthouse, and Kandi said, I really don't want to go by there. I'm just there to help promote the show and do the stuff, and I just want to go to New York, promote the show, stay in a hotel, and come out. I'm afraid. He said, well, Kandi, we can still just stop by there. And then he said, Kandi, do you hear me? He said, that's what I'm talking about. You try to pretend like you don't hear me, you ignore me. She said, okay, Todd. And then after that, it switched to the next scene where Drew was at our house and she was in the kitchen and she asked one of the assistants where was Ralph, and she said, "Oh, is he working?" And then the assistant said, "Yeah, he working." She said, "Well, go in there and tell him we got a therapy session in a few minutes. He need to come on." And so they showed him at his desk working and stuff. And then he came in the front room, and then Drew opened the door, and there was a therapist, and his name therapist Ken. He came up in there. And he asked them how was the progress going on their marriage and everything was happening. And then that's when Ralph brought up that he had set out a special dinner for Drew and stuff and had everything planned for her for the night for the dinner. He said, but Drew didn't appreciate what he did, and Drew said, no, I didn't. It's not that I didn't appreciate what he did. I enjoyed what he did. I was happy that he put that special dinner for me and everything. But like I told him in the dinner, you know, I don't mind us celebrating the highs, but I also want us to work on the lows and get us back together the way we were. And then that old psychiatrist gonna talk about, well, Drew, you know, that was a nice gesture, and you should have looked at it as a nice gesture, and then you should look at it as a nice gesture, and it was like that. The therapist was on Ralph's side and stuff like that. And then Ralph said, "Yeah, I tried to give her that. What I should have gave her was a Lunchable." No, you shouldn't have gave her a Lunchable. You should have tried to say, well, we could work on our problems later and stuff like that. And so that's when Ralph brought up, "Yeah, you said Dr. Quinn said I was a maniac." He said, she said, "No, I didn't say that. He said you had maniac tendencies." Let me pause this for these loudmouth people. I'm back now, my loud neighbors. But anyway, so he said, okay. He said, what it is, I'm going to give y'all a 30-day challenge. This is the therapist Ken. He said, I don't want y'all to scream at each other, talk back to each other for 30 days. He said, and then Ralph said, "What if we fail?" He said, "If you fail, you gotta do everything for the other one." He said, "Drew, if you fail, you gotta do everything that Ralph said." He said, "Ralph, and you fail, you gotta help Drew with the kids and do all that other stuff." And then they said, "Okay, we're gonna take the 30-day challenge." And then it switched to the next scene where Kandi sent all the invitations to the play and the trip to New York through Safari and Patrick. First they showed up at Sonia's door, and they rang the doorbell, and Sonia's husband looked kind of funny. He kind of looked and glanced, and then he went on. And then next it showed up to Drew's door, and Drew said, "Who is this?" And then they said who it was, and then Drew's husband tried to look, but Drew would let her husband look and see Safari and and then he went to Kenya last, and then Kenya said, "What is this?" And she said, "Oh, we hope you accept this gift from Kandi," and stuff like that. And then I think it was Drew who called Sonia and asked Sonia, did she see it? And Sonia said, yeah, she got the gift from Kandi. And she said, yes, and those, she said that was cute, but she said those half naked people. And then next thing you know, I think it was Sheree calling Marlo, telling Marlo about it. Marlo said, "Yeah, I got it, but I got plenty of panties. I got plenty of underwear." And Marlo started going through her drawer and showing everybody her expensive lingerie and underwear and stuff like that. And then so when it got to Kenya, she said, I saw the gift. I saw the gift, but I think that was inappropriate. Sending two half-naked people to my house like that. I got a little baby. I got Brooklyn here. What if she would? And then everybody else said it was kind of inappropriate too. But I think all of them did the same thing. You know, everybody tried to talk about Marlo when she had a little archive stuff. But it's like all of them was either sending emails or text messages or either either had stuff like what Marlo did have. At least Marlo, when she had the people come with her invitation, the people were fully dressed. That girl was fully dressed. What you call was half dressed, and Kenya didn't like that. And then after that, it showed where they were where Kandi and Todd was on the bus waiting for the rest of the people, and Kandi was saying, well, she knows she had them get up real early, but she was gonna make sure nobody wasn't gonna miss the flight. People talking about they're gonna miss the flight. So what you call arrived first, Drew and Ralph, and then after that it was Sonia and Ross, and then right after that it was Kenya, and Kenya will get on there and say, is this a couple's trip? Y'all didn't tell me it was a couple trip. And Kandi say, no, this is not a couple trip, this is a trip for everybody, and stuff like that. And she said her confessional, Kenya, Kandi didn't give me no warning. And then that's when production showed the flashback when Kandi said at the party that if you got to, she said you could bring your husband along, but if you don't have a husband, you could bring somebody along if you want to. And then Kenya gonna be like Kandi didn't tell her, and that's when they showed the flashbacks. And then Marlo was the last one on the bus, and then so she greeted everybody and said hello. And then that's when Kandi said, y'all like my little gifts? Y'all like my little gifts I sent y'all? And said, yeah, we like your gifts, we got your gifts. And Kandi said, did y'all bring the gifts? And then Kenya said, no, I didn't bring that. And then Marlo said, I didn't bring it either. And so they kind of went on. They kind of went on the bus. And then next thing you know, they showed like a little clip of them boarding the little jet, the little plane they had. And then the next scene was when they arrived in New York, and then Kandi and the rest of the group went to the hotel, and then Kandi asked the hotel staff, did they how was the rooms? And she said, yeah, they had the rooms available. She asked them, was the food delivered? And they told her yes. So when Kandi opened the door, she saw the rooms and everything, and she said, ooh, I'm finna go. She said, ooh, I'm hungry, I'm finna go eat. So she went to go eat, and then while she went to go eat, everybody else followed Kandi outside of the hotel room on the balcony, and they got ready to eat. And then Kandi said, well, she was gonna do some kind of game or challenge for them. And she wanted them to tell them what exotic location have they ever had the S word at. And so I know a lot of them was lying, especially Kenya, when she talking about Horn Mark was somewhere about some coyotes and some other kind of stuff, and then Marlo said something, and then Drew talking about her and Ralph somewhere at some kind of beach or something, and then they said, Marlo, did that really happen to you? And then Marlo said in a confessional, no, she lied about it. All of them was lying about that. I kind of skipped over that part, and then it went to the next scene. And the next scene was them riding on the bus. I guess on their way to the play, and that's when Todd brought up that he wanted them to see the condo just to see how it was, and he was saying that it's certain things that him and Kandi do together, but it's other things that he want to do by himself and stuff, all without Kandi. Then Kandi said, well, hold up, wait a minute. Anything that we do together is gonna benefit both of us anyway. Why should we do stuff separately? And then he said, well, before we got together, I was doing some stuff separately, and then you was doing some stuff separately. And then that's what Marlo said in her confessional. Yes, Todd, you can do stuff separately if you want to, but you can't do it separately without Candy's money. I'm so tired of these women talking about Todd ain't got no money. Todd had money before he met Kandi, and that's why he brought it up and said, well, Kandi, before we got together, I was doing my own stuff. And I don't know why some of them girls on Housewives talking about Todd ain't got no money. Todd got money. He might not have as much money as Kandi, but he got some money. But anyway, that's when Ralph and kind of gave him the fist bump because they agreed with Todd. And Kandi looked kind of funny, and then the next thing you know, they went to next thing you know, they went to the scene where Todd was walking to his condo, and all the people were following Todd and Kandi around the condo, and they looked at the condo and they were saying, "This is a nice kind of looking condo." And then Marol said, "Yeah, it looks good, but need remodeling." And then that's when Kenya said, "Oh yeah, I can work with this. I got good remodeling." Then Kenya put on her I guess contractor hat. She's talking about, "Ooh, I would knock this wall down and put a fireplace here, and then I would take these stairs down. I'll take these stairs down right here." And then Todd said, "Well, how you gonna get up there?" She said, "Well, I'll probably take these swivel stairs around stairs and maybe make an elevator." And then she said, "Well, if you add all this up, it's gonna be $100,000 to do." And then she said in her confessional, "Yeah, Todd, if you let me if you let me remodel your condo, it'll be a win-win for both of us," and stuff. And production showed all of the costs that she said how it costs to do what you call. And then so Marlo said, "Yeah, I agree with Todd. You need to keep this. You need to keep this and renovate this out to somebody, or either give it to one of your kids." And everybody said the same thing. And then Todd say, "See, I told you the group was gonna agree with me." Kandi said, "Well, I just brought them here just to see if they're gonna be open-minded." But they did agree. All of them did agree with Todd, and she even said it on Twitter too. And so after that. So after that part, they was riding on the bus, and then after that they went to the restaurant. And then Kandi had said while everybody was sitting down that she picked the menu. She picked the menu out where everybody could have something to eat. Was something that she picked the menu where everybody who likes certain things could have a menu. And she said the first menu was gonna be like some baked chicken or something, and then the a la carte menu, whatever, was gonna have some ribs and some other kind of stuff. Because she said she picked something that she thought that everybody would like, and that's the way you're supposed to do a party. You're not supposed to do it like Monique did on Love and Marriage DC, where everything is vegan. Like she said, some people might not like chicken, so they might want the ribs or something. So that's the way you're supposed to plan a party. But anyway, back to Housewives, and so Marlo mentioned. She said, "Oh, Drew, what happened to your ring? You don't have your ring on like Sonya." She said, "Well, me and Ralph was going through some stuff, and I took it off, and what it is, I never really thought to put it back on, but I'm gonna put it back on." Production showed her where she never had the ring on, and then so it was after that Drew it was after that Drew brought up that the therapist said they had a 30-day challenge where they can't not scream at each other, talk back to each other. Marlo said, "Ooh, y'all sure y'all gonna be able to keep that?" She said, "We're gonna try." Marlo said, "Good luck with that." And then the next thing you know, Ralph brought up about the assistant. Talking about it's not, he don't know why Drew has such a problem with his assistant. It's not like he told her he was gonna jump up and hire him a big A assistant. And then Kenya say, "Well, what's the matter, Drew?" Because she looked at Drew's face, and Drew said, "Well, I really didn't want to talk about this at the table. I really want to bring this back up about this situation." And she was saying, "Well, you really," and she said, "I really want to talk about. I really didn't want to bring this up." And then so he said, "Yeah, I don't know why she's still having a problem with this." And she said, "That's why I didn't want to bring it up. And then that's what Kenya said, "Ralph, you remind me of Mark." He said, "Huh?" She said, "Yeah, you remind me of my husband Mark, not validating my feelings." She said, "You're not validating Drew's feelings, and plus you're not validating her feelings, and plus you're putting her down. That's the way Mark used to do me." And then Shady Production showed how Mark used to tell Kenya that she didn't tell him this, or she didn't tell him that. She said, "I did tell you this. What do you think about me in Brooklyn, honey?" And he had our stuff, and you could tell that we all saw how the way Mark did Kenya in season 13. But anyway, he talking about why she have such a big deal and stuff, and then Kandi interjected and said, Ralph, why you think that Drew wouldn't have a problem with you hiring an assistant? Why you thought Drew wouldn't feel some kind of way? And then he said, well, she should feel that kind of way. And then Kenya kept trying to talk to him, and then he bust out laughing, and she said, don't do that. Don't do that to me. She said, if Mark wants to talk to me like you talking to Drew right now, she said, I would have flipped this table. I wrote in my notes like Teresa Judice did at that table and stuff. She said, I just saw the way he talked to Drew. It's not just right now at this table. He talked, and he kind of looked kind of funny and got kind of quiet. And then next thing you know, Kandi got on it. But the only part I didn't like, Shady Kenya gonna try to switch it around back to Drew. She talking about Drew. You know, Marlo is right. When Marlo said, you part of the problem too. She said you don't like to accept. The same stuff you said about him, that he don't accept your feelings. You don't like to accept folks' feelings. You don't like to apologize. And that's what Drew said. Well, you know, I do it like this. If I don't have a problem with you, she said, if you don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. And if you have a problem with me, I'm gonna say something. And then so that's when Shady Kenya gonna try to switch it around. And she said, well, Sheree, about the stuff you and Sheree had at my party. She said what it was. Sheree said something about Sheree said something about my friend, said something about my husband, Sheree and her friend. Sheree said, I didn't say nothing about your husband. And then that's when Kandi interjected again and said, now it was your assistant Anthony that said that. And Sheree said, yeah, I didn't say nothing about that. And she said, well, your friend said. She said, no, I didn't say it. And then that's when Sheree came out with that text and showed it, and both Drew and Ralph got to look at it. She said, see, he said, yeah, I got something on Drew. I got something on Drew, and I got something on Drew and her husband. Her husband is gay. And then that's when Drew looked kind of funny. Her husband looked kind of funny, and the show ended. This is A. Wesley. That ain't new tested like a T.I. is. I am out. I didn't think the video gonna be that long.